When I made a video on Ben Simmons, like 3 days ago, I really hoped it would be the last time I had to talk about this man until he got traded. But now, there's another new situation going on with him, so hopefully, crossing my fingers, this will truly be the last time I talk about Ben Simmons for a pretty long time, unless he gets traded, which would really be amazing. So what is the update with Ben Simmons? In case you're living under a basketball rock, Ben Simmons is not playing tonight against the Brooklyn Nets, and the reason why, this video is not being uploaded tonight. This video is being uploaded tomorrow, which for me right now is Saturday, but I'm recording it before the Nets game. Anyway, Ben Simmons is not going to play against the Brooklyn Nets. Nobody is in fact sure when he's going to return, and the reason why is because he is not mentally ready to face the Philly fans and to play basketball again. And he is being evaluated by doctors. They've got psychiatrists, psychologists for him, looking at him. They're trying to figure out what's going on. Supposedly, he has some kind of mental health thing. And as someone who also has a mental health issue, I am inclined to be sympathetic here. Let me backtrack a little. Let me tell you all a little bit more about myself. In case you hadn't figured it out already from watching this channel, I freaking love the game of basketball. Absolutely obsessed with it. I love watching it, and I love playing it. I'm currently attending the University of Delaware, and if you were to ask me, probably 8 times out of 10, what I like to do in my free time on any given night, I will tell you that I am going to the basketball court at the gym here. I love going there. I try my best to make it there. I'm probably there 4 or 5 days a week, alright? I'm going to play basketball here all the freaking time. I love it. Simultaneously, I have terrible performance and social anxiety. I get very nervous going to do anything in front of people, and that is doubly true for basketball, because as someone who loves basketball, it for some freaking reason, really increases my anxiety about it. Like, I went there literally like a week ago, and I go there and the gym is packed. There's like 50 other people in there, okay? I'm gonna have to join some random group to play 5-on-5s, and one part of me is excited because I love basketball. The other part of me is freaking out. I thought I was gonna throw up. I literally walked in the gym and saw how full it was, and I started freaking shaking. Like, my hands were shaking. I was so nervous. Now, I went and played basketball, and I played like ass because I was so nervous. I had butterfingers, I was sweating, I'm making dumb mistakes, I'm not focused, I'm real jittery. At the end of it, I ended up having a good time. After a little bit, I finally calmed down. But the difference between me and Ben Simmons, and there are several, I'm actually going to talk about multiple differences between us in this video. The number one here, though, in terms of playing in front of other people, I'm not playing for a job. I'm playing for fun with a bunch of other people who are playing for fun in this situation, and I'm still this anxious. I don't have an entire stadium full of people who absolutely hate me and are going to boo me and criticize me for everything I do, no matter what. So, as anxious as I get just playing with random people playing pickup in the gym, I sympathize with Ben Simmons for his anxiety, for his mental struggles with the game of basketball, for why he doesn't want to play for the 76ers any longer. On the other hand, I am not making like $35 million to play the game of basketball. I didn't sign a contract to make that money for the next 5 seasons to play basketball in Philadelphia. I am not as incredibly talented as Ben Simmons is. And even if all of those things were true, if I was under the contract, if I, got into this situation, whatever, I wanted out, I promise you, I swear to God, I would still go out there and play. I would still go out there and play, because at the end of the day, I love basketball more than I let my problems control me. And that is not, look, I don't have the worst anxiety in the world. In fact, I know a lot of people who have worse anxiety than me. So I am not trying to use that as an example for, why like Ben Simmons should be going out there, because he is not the same person I am. I'm just trying to say, if I happen to be in his situation, I would not be doing what he does. Another thing with this issue, though, is not only does Ben Simmons have these mental struggles, they're kinda sus, okay? He didn't bring them up during the last 4 years. He didn't bring them up after the Hawks series. He didn't bring them up before signing his max contract with the Sixers. He didn't bring them up when he said he wanted to leave Philadelphia. He's only bringing them up now that he has no choice but to play in for Philly, to play in front of the Philly crowd, or to not get his money. That's kind of suspicious, right? It's not just me. That's kind of suspicious. Now, I am not going to sit here and say that he's definitely lying, but I am just saying that it's, number one, pretty suspicious, and it's a little hard to believe, even for someone like me who is sympathetic to this kind of situation. And number two, most people are, like, people other than me are also going to find it suspicious, and they're not going to believe it whatsoever. I'm willing to, like, see how this unfolds, see if he does get some kind of medical thing before I make any real judgment. There's a lot of people who have already called this BS, who've already said that it's just a lie, and that's all it is, and he's just being a coward, and they hate him even more for it now. So Ben Simmons, it's still a lose-lose situation. We can't get him back. And I had this debate with someone earlier on Instagram. There's a page called Sixers Unite. It's a good Sixers page if you follow Sixers pages on Instagram. He said something along the lines of, Philly sports fans, if Ben Simmons comes back, Philly sports fans will forgive him if he plays well. This is a forgiving city for players who play well. And while I agreed with him, I told him Ben Simmons is not going to come back and play well, because it is impossible for Ben Simmons to simultaneously come back and fix his mental issues while playing for a fan base who hates him, and likewise, the fan base is not going to stop hating him until he fixes his issues and gets better. It's a cycle. The only way to break the cycle is to trade Ben Simmons. That is my final message with this video, alright? If it comes out that he really does have these mental issues, alright, he really does just have this horrible anxiety eating away at him to play on the court, it's not just because, he's stuck up and he doesn't want to deal with the pressure. It's some real mental thing, and I'm willing to believe that it is, if that's what comes out. If he gets evaluated and they say it is, I'll believe it. First of all, I'd like to apologize, because I've been a little too harsh on Ben Simmons. I'm not taking it all back. He's still upset me greatly multiple times over the last several years with how he plays. The Hawks series still makes me dislike him, but I was too harsh on him, and I'd like to apologize for that. And also, he needs to be traded. That is my final message for this. I really, really, really hope that I don't have to talk about this again. Send him to Portland for CJ McCollum. Please, please, please. That is the trade I want. That is the trade that I think makes the most sense for both sides that is available. Or if not, send him somewhere else and get somebody else decent back. Just get him out of Philly. For the sake of Ben Simmons, for the sake of Philly fans, for the sake of Joel Embiid and everyone else in this team trying to win, and for the sake of my mental health, because I'm tired of, number one, talking about Ben Simmons, and number two, stressing about the Sixers with Ben Simmons. Please trade him. Please get him out of this city. And you know what? If he goes somewhere else and he fixes his issues, he does well with a fresh start, I'll be happy for him. I'll be sad he couldn't do it here, but I will be happy for him. I hope Ben Simmons does well, he gets it together, and I hope he gets the frick out of my city.